Hey, what's up, guys? I'm gonna be trying out the new DualSense controller. Now, this is a little bit different from like what I normally do. I normally just upload montages and stuff like that, but I'm gonna try something different. Try out the new DualSense controller and some creative and mess around with it.
One eternity later.
Alright, so after a couple minutes, I was waiting to get into this creative game. There's like a bug with the matchmaking. But yeah, so far in hand, this controller feels pretty good. It like fits my hand, I would say. It feels very nice in hand. The only thing that's going to be interesting is that I play with trigger stops. And I don't know how to put trigger, there's no like trigger stops for it yet. So it's going to be interesting to try out. But right off the bat, it feels very interesting. Like the triggers itself. But yeah. I was surprised it didn't came like a cord or nothing. So I had to use my keyboard cord. Like my... So I don't have a keyboard right now, but I have a controller, so we're vibing. But this is harder than I thought. Now I'm just happy that I was at least able to put my control freak on, because I would be doing extremely trash if I didn't have my control freak. But at least the control freak is better than nothing. Yeah, this is very interesting. This controller actually feels very nice in hand, I'm not gonna lie. It feels like it just forms my hand. And this is like kind of what I always wanted. I really like the Xbox controller, but like I always didn't like the button layout, how the joystick was higher. I feel like I couldn't control the joystick of it. So I'm happy that PlayStation made a bigger controller that was more like the Xbox and able to control like the actual PlayStation controller would. So it's interesting. It just feels like right now when you first get on, I wouldn't say feels actually probably kind of more responsive than the actual PS4 controller too. It honestly is a very good controller. Now I'm just extremely happy that I am non-claw, because if I was claw, that would have been a headache to try to play with a claw. Like I mean not claw. Like if I use like paddles or something, it would have been a headache. I'm just happy I just don't use paddles. Now the only problem I'm really having is that there's no trigger stop, so I can't edit that fast. Like it doesn't like confirm the edit really. But it's actually not terrible, not gonna lie. I feel like I could get used to it, or I'll just have to make my own trigger stops. But yeah. The controller actually looks pretty nice too. Like it has like a two-tone and it's very nice. Originally when getting the controller, I was actually like super confused on why it was so, like I could get it so early. So I was kind of like skeptical on getting it, because I didn't know if it was just like lying, like when I said it was going to come in one day. Or was it just like, I don't know. Because I ordered it on Amazon and it said it would come tomorrow. And I was like, no way. Because it's not supposed to come out for like a week. So I was interested. So I got it, and then like it wasn't coming, like the package, like the Amazon truck came and then there was no package. So I was like, wow, it never really, it's not gonna come. And then like at 4 o'clock, another truck came and delivered this. So I was kind of happy and in shock that it actually came. And then when opening, I was like confused. Like I almost thought that it would be like fake or something, because I didn't think that you could get it. But after doing research on it, like they were selling them at like GameStop, and you were able to buy them like pretty early. So I was kind of confused, but you know, it is what it is. I guess I'm happy I got the controller early. Now to actually use the controller, like it took me like 20 minutes to connect it. So like it pretty much doesn't detect it automatically as a controller. Well, like it says a controller, but it doesn't work on Fortnite. So then you have to go through Steam and add it, and you have to physically put every single button, like, and lay out every single button that you would use. Which honestly I thought was gonna be harder. It kind of gives you like, it tells you what the button is, so you just have to press the button where it shows. And yeah, you do all that. Then you pretty much have to make sure the game is closed, like your Epic Games Manager or whatever is closed. And then you just start the game, and then it will let you play with it. But it was kind of frustrating in the beginning, just trying to get used to it. Like trying to connecting and everything. It was kind of annoying. But now that I got it, I'm actually happy I bought it. I was interested because I didn't think I was gonna like the controller. But I'm actually curious, and I'm probably get used to it and use it as my actual controller. Like I had got many other controllers, like Scuffs and all that, but I still always went back to the DualShock. I actually used to use the Scuff Impact a lot, and then it broke, and then I switched to the DualShock, and I was going like terribly. Like I played so bad using it, and then after that I improved so much, and now I love the DualShock. So yeah, and then I never switched. Like after that, like when my Impact broke, I bought a new Impact. And after 3 months of using the DualShock, I got the Impact in the mail because it takes forever. It took like 3 months. But yeah, after getting it, I used it and I was like, this controller is not for me. The buttons just felt like super squishy and like it didn't feel like natural to use. Like in the actual game. So I just went back to the DualShock and just been practicing non-claw. A lot of people were telling me to try to do actual claw. So I might be trying that. To play claw, and I don't know if I'm gonna switch to claw, but I might make a YouTube video, you know, trying out claw and stuff. I just feel like there's too many claw players. I feel like everyone nowadays that's good is a claw player, so I kind of want to just be different. And I'm not like terrible to the point where I should play claw. Like if I was bad, I definitely would be playing claw right now. I feel like I'm not terrible on non-claw. I just gotta really work on my movement. It's very stiff, but yeah. And actually, surprisingly, this controller has more grip. It honestly feels better than the PS4. Like, it has more grip. Like, with the PS4 controller, I had it physically, like, I bought a grip for it. So, but this controller has, like, a grip that's made of, like, all the 4 buttons that the PlayStation has. Like, the X and all that. And, yeah. It has, like, a grip on the back of the controller. Let me see if I can show you guys. I think it would be too hard to zoom in. But yeah, it has like a whole bunch of designs on it that's like a grip. And it feels super nice. And yeah, overall it feels comfortable in my hand. Now I'm super happy that they finally made a controller that's more like the Xbox controller. But that was always my problem. That's why originally I got the Impact, because it was the Xbox kind of shape, but it was more of an Xbox 360 controller, but it was similar point with the PlayStation layout, which is originally why I got that controller, which I kind of regret buying because it was a lot of money to waste on a controller that I didn't even use. But yeah, I'm happy this controller finally came out. It's been a while of, you know, trying out new controllers, trying to find the controller that was perfect fit between Xbox and PS4, and it's finally out. I just wish there was like an attachment or something that hopefully comes out in the future that allows you to kind of like try, like change the triggers, because it would be so much better if I could have trigger stops on here. And I might do the thing that like Flea did, where he like hot glued it or whatever, like super glued like a piece of like zip tie to it. I want to see something to do that because it's better than another thing. And like. That's literally the only thing. This controller would be perfect if it had trigger stops. Like if it had trigger stops, I would honestly use this controller for sure. I still am, and I want to get used to it. And by the time I get used to it, I won't need the trigger stops. But I really like this controller. It really does feel nice. I recommend you guys trying to get it if it's still in stock. I'm not sure if it's still in stock. It should be. Just if you want to buy it, it's on Amazon. Just search up like DualSense controller, and it's like the second one that came out. It's like $70. And it's kind of cool, you know, how I got something kind of early. But yeah, if you're interested in it, you can buy it. But yeah, overall, this controller is actually pretty good. Now, I can't really give it a full rating because I haven't tried out like the haptics or whatever it is called and the trigger things, so I haven't really been able to try those out because there's no support for it yet on PC. But the controller itself is extremely good. If you're always in the same situation where you really like the Xbox controller but didn't like the button layout and preferred the PS4 button layout, this controller is honestly perfect. Like there's really just nothing else to say. But like after like 10 minutes of playing, like you could already kind of see that I'm not terrible with it. The only thing I would say is the squishiness, not squishiness, but like the no like trigger stops is affecting me to edit slightly slower. But by no means are my edits like so much slower to the point where it's not, you know, like worth switching. I would honestly just get used to the controller and maybe try to press the buttons lighter, like the trigger slightly lighter. And yeah, it should be fine after that. But like right there, you seen like the joystick is kind of loose. Like it's looser than the DualShock, which is good and bad. Allows you to make more movements with my lower sense, but at the same time, it's probably gonna lose assault rifle aim. But it shouldn't be too bad. Like it's not incredibly looser or anything. It's just like slightly noticeable. The only thing that's a big difference is how the R1 and R2 is super separated. Like with the DualShock 4, it's super like close together, and with the DualSense, it's super far apart. So it definitely is interesting to try to use it. Now it's not like incredibly bad. I only notice on my left hand. So my left hand, I move with my my pointer finger. I use both. Here I use 2 fingers, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it's not terrible. I really like it. I'm gonna get used to this. And maybe I'll make the first montage on Ps5 controller. But yeah, it's my first handcam too. I never really tried a handcam. I didn't really know how to do a handcam, if I'm being honest with you guys. But I did some research and was able to do it. So, yeah, but I really do like the controller. Yeah, I would recommend buying it, honestly, if you guys, you know, like I said, are in the same situation that I was, or even just want to try a new controller. If you wanted to, you could wait and just get like the Pro controller if it ever comes out. I don't know if it's gonna come out or how long it's gonna be until it comes out, but you could always try that if you're in the same situation that I am with the triggers. But I'm probably it's a super simple fix, and it's not that big of a deal. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. Like I'm already starting to get used to it, and it's not that big of a deal. But yeah. Like my edits are not terrible on this, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, by no means is it the greatest, but definitely something I want to learn more and play with a lot. But yeah, overall this controller is good, and hope you enjoyed this. It's my first time doing something like this, so I'm, you know, not the greatest at it. But yeah, I just thought it was, you know, something different that I could post on. You know, I normally just make montages, and, you know, wanted to try something different, and thought this was my chance to do something different. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'll try to make montages in the future, a lot more. Gotta stay on that grind.